In this world, what is the ranking of kings? Does he have any prominent knights in his service? Does he have many subjects, and are his towns thriving? And most of all, is the king himself as powerful as a hero? These conditions determine the ranking of each nation's king. Boji is the first prince of this kingdom. From a young age, he promised his mother that he would definitely become the greatest king in the world. But ironically from birth, Boji is a deaf, powerless prince who cannot even wield a children's sword. People mutter about him behind his back as a good-for-nothing prince, and no way he can be king. Today, Boji escapes the play, standing from above looking at his kingdom. In his sight, he sees Kage carrying something. When Boji runs away, he is chased by the Kage. After a while, Kage discovers that Boji is deaf and cannot talk. But strangely, Kage can understand what Boji is saying, and Boji too. Kage wants to steal Boji's clothes, but Boji happily takes off all of his clothes and gives them to Kage. Boji returns to the palace naked and is laughed at by everyone. Since then, every day, Boji brings expensive clothes to Kage, which confuses him more and more. Kage calls Boji an idiot because he can't talk. Boji has always been lonely since he was a child. The first time someone talks to him, he is very happy. After several days, they gradually became close to each other. Kage accidentally recognizes Boji as the prince of this country. Out of curiosity, Kage follows Boji home. Now Kage is stunned that he never expected Boji to suffer such humiliation every day. People consider Boji a farce. Boji returns to the castle and is scolded by his stepmother because he is ruining the reputation of the royal family. The stepmother is very angry and says he is not worthy of the throne. The one who deserves the throne is the second prince, Daida. People think Boji doesn't hear them, but actually he understands what his stepmother just said. He's always smiling at everyone, but actually all the humiliation he has endured and suppressed inside. He suppresses his emotions and goes to see his father. This is Boss, who is the 7th ranked king in the world, who is known as the Giant. In the past, when the country fell, he stood up to lead the people to defeat the enemy and become king. His illness is taking a very bad turn. He feels very sad because when Boji was born, his body was deprived. He entrusts Domas, the greatest swordsman in this land, to teach Boji swordsmanship. Boji doesn't want to disappoint his father's expectations, so he trains very hard. But Domas feels very angry when he sees Boji's weakness. At this moment, the second prince, Daida, passes by this place. He wants to have a duel with Boji. Domas thinks it's too early, but Daida challenges Domas to a duel. It was said that Prince Daida has recently defeated the captain of Bebin's legion, so he is very arrogant. Domas feels very surprised and excited by Daida's swordsmanship. It is so excellent. It is the ideal model to be the heir to his swordsmanship. Daida, of course, has no chance to win. He's extremely angry. Boji also challenges Daida to a duel. Everyone hears that the two princes are about to have a duel, so they're excited to come here to watch. Kage is also very curious about it. One soldier thinks that Boji will surely lose, but another soldier has witnessed that moment by accident. Shockingly, Boji's observation and judgment are so sharp. He is dominating this duel. If it is full of real swords, perhaps Daida will lose quickly. But life is very ironic. Then Domas tells Boji something. He completely changes the situation of this duel. Boji is beaten so badly, he can barely resist. In this kingdom, everyone knows the King Boss with his fighting skills to overwhelm the enemy. Boji's fighting skills by dodging are considered cowardly. It tarnished the king's reputation. Witnessing the scene before him, Kage can't take it anymore. Fortunately, Appius arrives in time to stop the duel, and Daida wins. He's extremely pleased. What he does after winning is to ask the magic mirror who is worthy to be king. Boji is badly injured. Domas feels pity for him. He was born with a small and weak body. Even the children's sword that he couldn't hold, how could he defeat the enemy? Boji feels so useless. He crawls over to the sword and tries to lift it with all his strength, but with his strength it is too difficult. Kage comes to comfort him. Boji tries to hide his weak tears and smiles like always. Kage admires Boji very much. He speaks out his heart and decides to always be by Boji's side. He will help Boji fulfill his dream. Then Kage is leaving when unfortunately he is captured by Bebin. The next day, a sad day for the country. The king died in the grief of all. According to the king's decree, the Prince Boji will be the heir to the throne. The spirit inside Boss's body points at Boji to choose him as the next heir to the throne. Daida is very angry and scolds the magic mirror, but it tells him that everything is according to plan. The next day is the day of the crowning of the prince. Boji is shocked when the person called to pass on the throne is Daida. It turns out that the stepmother has destroyed the king's decree. Some officials strongly objected, but after the vote, only 2 officials supported Boji. Most of the officials agreed to let Daida take the throne. Boji is heartbroken. He can't believe this is happening. At the prison, Kage is trying to find a way to escape, but is still captured by Bebin. Bebin goes to meet Boji and tells him that Kage will leave this land forever. Boji is very sad. His only friend also abandoned him. Boji thinks for a long time. He decides to travel to explore new lands and find Kage. The stepmother allows Boji to travel on the condition that the greatest swordsman, Damas, and the interpreter Hokuro will accompany Boji, so Boji began his journey. This video ends here. If you feel like you like this video, please subscribe to my channel to easily follow the next videos.